Good evening, welcome along. It is match day 2 in the Asian Champions League Elite phase. And right now at Shanghai Stadium in Shanghai, Shenhua take on Ulsan HD of Korea Republic. So we're on match day 2. Some teams have already played 2 games. And as you can see, none of the teams that have played twice have a 100% record. It's a beautiful evening. 25 degrees Celsius shirt sleeve weather, as you will see when you see the supporters close up. Players are ready to go. Ulsan HD have changed into a lighter striped outfit for the game. These teams had differing fortunes on the opening day. Shanghai Shenhua went to the competition rookies Gangwon and were beaten after having taken the lead at the end of the first half, and Ulsan effectively did the opposite. They went behind in the 44th minute and then fought back with 2 second half goals, including a 90. Shenhua. There is a travelling support as well. The journey is about 900 kilometers across the sea from Korea Republic. So it's, as you would expect, it's not a massive support, but they will see how their team gets on. They hope that they do better in the continental competition than they have in their league campaign this year. Both of these clubs are at the end, the business end really, of their domestic campaign, and they're making choices about priorities. They've got very different priorities in their domestic campaign. They met in the league phase last season. Ulsan came here and they won thanks to a second half comeback again, funnily enough. And it was the Korean champions' only victory in last season's league phase. They lost all of their other games and they didn't score until match day 5. No surprise then that they didn't make it to the knockout phase. It's not exactly full, but then it's a 72,000 seater stadium. It's a huge bowl. But they've been getting decent crowds this season, more than 38,000 on average, which is a considerable improvement, about a quarter up from last year. Shanghai Shenhua did make it through to the round of 16 last season. They were beaten by Kawasaki Frontale, who themselves went on to reach the final. Frustrating really for Shanghai Shenhua, given that they had beaten them in the league phase. That's how it works, of course. 8 teams will make it through the league into the knockout phase. At that point it's still regional, it's still east and west, and then when you get to the finals, it's when the one-off games kick in. The finals will be in Saudi Arabia again this season. And the players are ready to walk. The Japanese match officials will lead us out. The ball is the Paradise Ball, a new one for this season, I'm told. We'll see the very precise choreography of the opening phase as the music prepares for the 2 sets of players. Photographers are ready. Match officials are ready. And the supporters are invited to welcome these players out. Match day 2. Ulsan HD have a win behind them. It's a rare win though. Their form has been nothing short of atrocious. 2 victories in 18 games in all competitions for the side that have been the Korean champions for 3 years in a row. At the moment they're 10th in the K-League. They're in a relegation playoff place. So that's what I mean about having to juggle resources. For Shin Tae-yong, the coach of Ulsan HD. And here come the players with the anthem. We will line up and the players will show their respects to the match officials, of course, and to each other before battle commences. What an arena. Shanghai Shenhua took over at the beginning of August. There's been a lot of change in the dugout for Ulsan HD, too much really. Previous coach Hong Myung-bo, who won the title last season, went off to be the national team coach. He was replaced by Kim Pan-gong, and then he lost his job. Shin came in. So the anthem is played, the respects will be shown. Shanghai Shenhua have got 4 games to play in their domestic league. They're 3rd in the league, 3 points off the top. It is agonisingly close. They don't have another domestic game now, a little break before they get back to action. You can see why in the previous game, when they had to travel. Then Slutsky, who is familiar, almost pose, isn't it? He was the one rocking, as he frequently does. Massive experience, former coach of the Russian national team, 6 national team clubs, a regular title winner in Russia. He makes 7 changes. First teamers returning really to the 11. In fact, they've picked the same 11 that played in the Chinese Super League team on Friday night, so a number of first choices coming back in. Xue Qinhao in goal, Wu Qi, the 96 cap, the regular skipper. Another regular international, Jiang Shenlong, comes back into the defence. Portuguese fullback Wilson Manafa is back. The England board, Li Ke is back. Chan Shin Ichi, a Hong Kong international, and Luisa Sue, the Equatorial Guinean international as well. The match officials are from Japan, led by Araki Yosuke, and we have VAR, senior and a junior VAR, or assistant VAR, who will be helping the referee, taking charge of those offsides as well when required. And Ulsan makes 6 changes from their last Champions League Elite match. There's a first taste of Asian continental football for the Venezuelan international Matías Lasava, who was a youth team player at Barcelona. There's a return for regular skipper Kim Young-guon, who's played most outfield minutes for them in their K-League campaign. The top scorer, Brazilian Eric Farias, is back. He's got 11 goals. And 18-year-old Baek In-woo keeps his place in attack. No place for Marcao, the big... Slutsky, typically concentrating hard on the game, and there's Shin Tae-yong, who's been an Asian champion as a player and as a coach as well. Before this job, his most recent one was in charge of the Indonesia national team. Match day 2, and we're underway. Shanghai Shenhua in the dark blue against Ulsan HD Korean champions, but only nominally, because they won't be at the end of this campaign, which is very close to the end for them. So two teams on a similar schedule. It's impossible to say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing that your season doesn't quite match with the continental season, but Korean clubs have been Asian champions in the different formats more than any other clubs. The ball over the top and an early chase, I say chase, there was no possibility of Louis Asue getting on the end of it. Good hard work from the front players there, closing down. He arrived in December 2023. Ulsan HD happy to go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Jo Hyun-woo, and their experienced players. Call that a mid-block from Shanghai Shenhua. It goes wide. Gustav Ludvigsen is trying to make himself a nuisance. Anafa with the throw. Ludvigsen steals in, wins it back, and then gives it away again. A little bit of untidy play there by a couple of the Europeans. Once again, Ulsan HD are happy to go back to the goalkeeper. Lee Cheng-yu was pressing the keeper. It was a sort of a one-man press, really. Happy to go forward quickly. It's a good forward pass, actually stayed in play by Shi Jinshan. And now into the penalty area. Trying to cut the ball back across João Teixeira. Encouraging signs for the experienced Shin Tae-jong. Sacked in January by the Indonesian Federation, so he's had a little bit of time off between jobs. Excitement as they get into the penalty area again, but it was to go out of play, and it's a corner. Good persistence for Shenhua by Gao Tianji. One of the internationals for the People's Republic of China, Gao Tianyi. This corner swung into the near post. Good goalkeeping by Jo Hyun-woo. Two-fisted punch away. Anafa, though, did really well. Free kick there, Ulsan, but they don't get it. Shanghai Shenhua again on the attack, and a shot on the turn. It was dragged a long way wide, in truth, by Gao Tianyi. Good block by the captain, Kim Young-kwon. We know that Ulsan HD will try to play it from deep. The highest possession stats in the K-League, Korean top flight, by some distance, and yet they're in a relegation playoff position at the moment. And is really sticking to your principles. They've made a mistake, and there's an opportunity and a super save to deny Luis Asue. But it's been an all too common problem for Ulsan HD, playing themselves into trouble. And you can see as well the playing surface is drenched and the ball is really rolling. Ludvigsen does well. He comes back to back in Wu, and into the penalty area it goes, well defended by Shanghai Shenhua. And Teixeira fires it forward quickly, hoping to get Luis Asue, the Equatorial Guinean striker, forward again. Hyun actually worked in the midfield. Ludvigsen is wide again. So we know they're an accomplished team. We know they can play. Throw in for Shanghai Shenhua. 19-year-old is already a full international, Liu Jianyu. Heavy touch by the defender. Did okay though, Jian Shenlong. And then Manafa, slight miscontrol, and they're keen to jump on that ball high up the pitch. Real narrow press for Ulsan HD. That one, it's got to be a free kick. Back in Wu. The 18-year-old who scored in the last K-League game. Got them a draw. Remains to be seen whether draws will be good enough to keep them out of those relegation playoffs. 1 in 6. They've drawn their last 3 though. Spring forward. And I was around for signs of a flag. It was an energetic run by the skipper Wu Ji. Flags are flying, the supporters are jumping. The players have started okay. Japanese referee just telling the players to keep the contact to a minimum. Gao plays it into the near post, and it was flicked up and high over the bar by Wu Ji. 36-year-old now. As you saw in that last bit of action, he's still got some energy in the midfield. He won the old format back in 2010. Shin Tai Young. Ludvigsen. Real excitement when Shanghai Shenhua turned the ball over. The supporters instinctively wanted to go forward quickly, and they made a mess in the back again. It's the second time, and it hasn't been going on that long, has it? 10 minutes, and second time already. But they've needlessly put themselves in great danger. The reigning Korean champions, a hat-trick of titles. Had a miserable time at the World Club Cup as well. They played 3 games, lost them all. That included to Mamelodi Sundowns, Fluminense, Borussia Dortmund. Strong challenge again by Jian Shenlong. A promising run, managed to feed João Teixeira. The Portuguese into the penalty area. Good effort, hard and low. The goalkeeper was worried, but in the end he needn't have been. It's a proper threat. Teixeira scored in the opening game. He's the one who put them in front. He gave Park Min-seo a real problem. Forward by Shinichi Chan, the Hong Kong international. Ludvigsen puts it over the top. Whistles and jeers. A little harshly, I suspect, on the attacking player for Ulsan HD, Eric Farias. They turn it over in midfield again. Now Manafa. Missed it, but it does well to win it back again. Wilson Manafa. Last club before he came here was in Spain's La Liga with Granada. The energy again from Ulsan HD turns over possession, the pressure on Gao in midfield. They shift it forward too quickly, really. They turn it round and go quickly over the top, and Asue uses his pace and the power, and he gets into the penalty area, and still he battles away. Backed up by Liu Jiangyu. Ulsan has to slam the door shut. For initial poor touch, he didn't look favourite, but there's a second line of defence to keep Asue at bay. Centre forward jumped a little too early and left the gap, and it gets Ulsan HD up the pitch to Park Min-seo. Plays it quickly into the penalty area. Sliding challenge by Chan.
Fullback Choi Seok-hyun throw in into the penalty area. It was really a long one. And over aggressive challenge brings the free kick for the foul from the youngster Liu Cheng-yu. Free kick for holding on Gao Tianyi. Both arms around the hips, wasn't it, from the Korean fullback. Skill from Teixeira. Yang Chen-long fires it forward quickly, and again there was a really positive run from Wu Chi. Ko Seung-bong, that deep midfield position. Out. Park Min-seo again. And it breaks down on that left flank for Ulsan HD. Riaz missed the first game. It was a bad miss as well. 11 goals, makes him their top scorer. Did okay without him. One win, which is all they managed in the whole of the league phase last time around. Teixeira fires this wide to Shinichi Chan. Comes inside and then he's overhit the cross, but his fellow fullback Manafur is there. It can be pulled back and steered into the middle by Yao Tianyi, and he's putting it in for a teammate to try and get a head onto. I think he's going for that far post, and he wasn't far away from it. Perhaps you could argue he was slightly indecisive. Three-man block. They've dropped a little deeper now. And they break. The idea is then that Ulsan HD will be able to play through it, but the sodden surface isn't helping. They worked their way forward nicely, Ulsan HD. They're a team with so much ability. Into the penalty area, well dealt with by Chua Min-hao. Shanghai Shenhua, plenty back, putting pressure on the ball, but comes the way of Wu Chi
it to Sui. He lays it off for Teixeira. They work the situation nicely. He goes down. 2 players down. There is VAR to have a look at it. Luis Sui. Hoping they don't need a VAR. Put this into the back of the net. They play it to the edge of the penalty area. Super defending. It was Ludvigsen who got in there to make the block on Gao Tianyi. Got forward, but then where it broke down was clearance, comes off him and goes out for a throw in for the home side. Was caught being indecisive there, and Ludvigsen put pressure on him. Nothing between the teams. Goalless with a quarter of the game just about played. Sava hasn't had a big influence on the game so far, but that was an impressive little burst. Then a shot on the turn that smacks into the side netting. There's a man down for Shanghai Shenhua, but a little flash there of the Venezuelan is about. Quickly onto the ball. Very positive indeed. The thwack I think you heard was the outside of the net. Tianyi is the player who is struggling here. So it's working through a translator. It's hardly a unique situation. He's worked in other parts of the world as well. Leonid Slonsky worked at Hull City in England. Very briefly, that didn't really work out. Vitesse the Netherlands. He's had ups and downs. He was relegated with Rubin Kazan. He wasn't widely acclaimed at his time in charge of the Russian national team. Where Chan took his knock, making that block from the original attempt at the cross from Rasava. A little more direct, aren't they? Prepared to go quickly through the middle. Ulsan HD. Actually, to be fair, when they go in the attacking phase, they don't really hang around. They just want to build it slowly from deep initially. Up by Jia. They're doing the closing down. First season in Korean football has been a personal success, but you imagine, given their recent record, that they would have necessarily expected to win the league, expected to be competitive. A million miles from that. None of the top 3 scorers from last season for Ulsan HD is at the club in this campaign. As I say, we're a couple of managers on as well. And they won the title last year. hit with the high boots. I think the Japanese referee is going to have something else to say, but it's nothing more than a word. Hyun. The man with the signal, not necessarily be the man to take it, but obviously giving the left foot in swinger. It is his ball in to the middle. Well rebuffed. Ludvigsson. Again, having been left by his marker. Flag is down for now. An opportunity for Ulsan HD. Ball back into the danger area around the penalty spot and then sent flying up but over the top of the bar from Baek In-woo. It's a good opportunity for the teenager. Working really nicely. Ludvigsson just been left alone. He was marked initially. Would have had to get the VAR to have a close look at the offside or not, and there's a little slip there as Baek In-woo takes on the shot. You could say it's probably why it went so high over the top of the crossbar. And then Slutsky was up and screaming and shouting without the use of his translator. Never sure what players can really hear anyway, even if it's in their own language, from a coach shouting in a noisy stadium. Neatly done again by Teixeira. Intercepted by Ruchi, but he couldn't keep it in play. Neat skill. Tries to get the shot curling away as Baek In-woo, who was dancing towards the edge of that penalty area. Some ability, this young man. Feet, just couldn't get the body shape. His right boot around the ball enough. That's lovely football. It's Teixeira who tries to release Manavan. Two Portuguese combining. Good work by Gao Tianyi. Now Wuji. Chen Long back to Xu Chenjia. Teixeira. He's had a good game. Teixeira, who I think would like to be a little bit more influential for the home side. They work it to Chan on the left side. And a long ball over the top for Asue to chase down, and again he's into the penalty area. He's adamant that he should have got a penalty there. Well, he's caused all sorts of problems. They're prepared to chuck it in there long when they think that they can get him isolated against the defender. Goal kick at this end. He was definitely onside. Let's have a look, is there a foul there? I think his point is the defender has fallen. He does seem to catch him. It's Parkman So. Look, as he's tumbling, to look down at ground level as he's tumbling, did catch the striker's feet. I suppose the match officials would point out it was probably accidental. Just a sort of natural coming together, because the normal course of action of trying to compete, trying to get to the ball, there will be a little bit of natural contact. Now it's Shanghai Shenhua just trying to draw more players forward for Ulsan HD. And then Ludvigsen does sort of jump out of his position. They're happy largely to come back into the mid-third. Just block from there. Forward, there was a little gap. Always taking a gamble, of course, when you play through, but they are through. Chan into Teixeira to Manafa. The penalty area was the intention. He came off the first defender. Corner for Shanghai Shenhua. Shinichi Chan goes into the penalty area. The left back trying to get involved. Jiang Shenlong is forward, as you would expect.
swinging corner, high, too fierce, really. Trying to get some whip on it, but he got underneath it as well. Gao Tianyi. One of the internationals in this Shanghai Shenhua team. Supporters keep some energy levels going. The Shanghai Stadium. Previously the host of the Italian Super Cup. Ulsan HD on the attack. He's early into the penalty area there. Eric, he really wait to see if any teammates were with him. Tries to get the flick on, but it ends up going back to the Ulsan goalkeeper, Jo Hyung-woo. Lee Jin-hyun. Nicely into the midfield, and Lasava plays it over the top and struck fiercely into the side netting. It was Eric who had been played forward again. His frustration indicates that he thought it was a good opportunity. It was terrific play by Lasava. He was onside the Brazilian. It ran across his body quite enough. Maybe just held up more than he was expecting, and it was to hook it around from the side rather than striking the ball in front of himself. Good contest though for 38 minutes, but we are goalless. Uchi. Back to Jan. Gao Tianyi to Manafa. Good pressure from the Sue and from Liu Cheng. Yu, the two strikers working in tandem. Uchi, and then it's fired quickly wide back. Like breaks down when the fullback is confronted by a couple of defenders. Jumped on in the midfield. Where's this loose ball going? It's going to Wilson Manafa. And Uchi tips it towards the back post. And Sue, I think, to his credit, he's trying to head that back across for Liu Chen Yu. It was an attempted goal. It was a pretty tame one. Pretty tame corner conceded here. Choi Seok-hyun just trying to sling a ball into the penalty area. We'll get an opportunity to get everybody where they want them to be. Deliver again. Those loyal supporters, something to cheer about here. Ulsan HD. Hasn't been much joy in that season as a whole. Lee Jin-hyun. Swing this one again high towards the back post. Keepers deal with it the most effectively.
Did he touch it? Depends on your point of view. The referee goes with no. Let's see. He's got a clear leap at it there, and he made no contact. You can how? See a player run with the ball out from the back sometimes. It doesn't have to be passed away, and work it nicely again. Liu Cheng-yu, out it comes to Manafa. Portuguese fullback being tracked again by Gustav Ludvigsen. Switched out to João Teixeira. Freeze down. Always gets a laugh and a cheer. He's okay. Now can it come into the penalty area? It's so funny when it's a player, it's your player, also stumbles when he has a good crossing position there. Shinichi Chan. I think the water on the surface has certainly affected the roll of the ball. Park Min-seo. Lee Jin-hyun had to slide and then forced backwards. Passing formations, situations that were setups that involve trying to retain possession, dominate the opposition, just require a high level of technical skill. Ludvigsen. Sticking to him like glue, and they work it. Park Seo and Ludvigsen again. Will he fancy a crack at goal? He just dinked it in. It was a terrific diving clearance. It certainly goes down well with the supporters inside the Shanghai Stadium. Ludvigsen quickly recovered again by Ulsan HD, and then a long range attempt with Lee Jin-hyun trying look from distance for all of the decent football that we've had in the game. Actual clear-cut opportunities have been far more of a premium. Park Min-seo. We're in the last minute, by the way, of the first half. There won't be a lot of added time. 2 minutes to go. Pressure's more on Shanghai Shenhua, given that they lost on match day 1 to the rookies gang 1. There's a lot of Chinese teams against Korean teams in this elite league phase. Shared up, a little frustrated. Goals right to the end of the first half in both of these teams'
games on the opening match day. Stay tuned, we'll see what we can do in the next 60 seconds. Choi Seok-hyun to Lasava. Does he fancy an opportunity? He does! Best player of the half, and a wonderful save by Shua Hintao. It was wonderful play, just shifted it, and the aim was true. There was power in it as well. And the Venezuelans so unlucky. Find the giant goalkeeper on top form. Last moments of this first half, the ball goes into that Shanghai Shenhua penalty area, straight back out again. This is probably enough to confirm it will be 0-0 at the break. But there is no time to take it. Goalless at half-time then inside the Shanghai Stadium. Shanghai Shenhua and Zhao Teixeira can't get through against Ulsan HD. They've had their moments. Eric was disappointed with one chance that he had. Best moment of the game though was Matthias Lasava with a super curling effort right at the end of that first period. It's been close, it's been competitive, we've seen some good football. We need some goals. We'll see what we can do in the second half. Half time, it is Shanghai Shenhua 0, Ulsan HD 0.
Welcome back to the Shanghai Stadium. 0-0 at half-time between Shanghai Shenhua and Ulsan HD. And it's Champions League Elite. We're in the league phase at the moment. Second game for each of these teams. Ulsan HD, who are having a terrible season domestically, started this competition with a win. It was against another Chinese team, Chengdu Rongjian, with a 95th minute goal in that one. Whereas Shanghai Shenhua started with a defeat, so they are under more pressure. They're also the home team. Best bit of action of the first half came right at the end of it. Matthias Lasava, lovely bit of skill and a curling shot that was well saved by Chua Kinhao. But here we go again at the start of the second half. We need goals. There was plenty to be impressed with in the first half, but no one could hit the back of the net. Definite shortage of clear goal-scoring opportunities. Shanghai Shenhua in the deep blue, and the visitors in the blue and white stripes. Ulsan HD are former Asian champions, the last time in 2020. They strolled to the K-League title last season. This year, currently sitting in a relegation playoff place with a couple of games to go. See why both coaches have been rotating teams and just trying to find that right combination of fitness and putting out strong sides. A much stronger Shanghai Shenhua side that played in their first. They rotated that one more. This is the same team that played in their last Chinese Super League tie. 7 players returning, strong players, experienced players, and sort of international stars as well. Ulsan made 6 changes from their last Super League game. They're on the attack. Now the ball into the penalty area again, and it's over the head of Ludvigsson, the Swede, with a lovely back heel. And that's back in Wu, who's then forced outside of the penalty area. It's an accomplished player though, the 18-year-old. Lovely movement again from Ulsan HD, and Ludvigsson just couldn't get a shot away. And Wilson Manafa had a really good first half, as good as anybody in that first half, really, the Portuguese fullback with the defending. But it's one back again, or at least the attack was stopped by Choi Seon-hyun. Now an opportunity for Shanghai Shenhua. You can hear the volume rise as they come forward to Shera, and then into the penalty area it goes from Wu Chi. And looking around is Liu Chang-yu, who went down, the Japanese referee, quick to dismiss it, but now more opportunities again, and a goal! It's Luis Asue, and Shanghai Shenhua take a lead early in the second half. Well, Ulsan HD might have thought they could get that away, but it quickly came back into the penalty area, and Luis Asue was deadly. Joy unconfined around the Shanghai Stadium, except said that man, Leonid Slutsky. Well, they'd had one opportunity to get it away, and it's a ricochet high off the heel of the defender who made the block. And credit to Luis Asue, what he'd done is just pull himself into a little bit of space. And you could argue that he got a little bit lucky, but equally, make your own luck. And when the chance came, he buried it. And an international from Equatorial Guinea gets the Chinese side into the lead. Runners up in China last season. They're third at the moment with a couple of games left to play. Real blow for Ulsan, had started the second half pretty well. Now Teixeira. Sway again. A bit of skill, shakes off an attempt of a foul, and he got, I'm going to say, a little bit greedy, going for the shot for the near post. Adrenaline was up. He's got skill, but he's strong as well. Skill let him down there as he scuffed that opportunity. He took the one, though, that's the one that separates the two teams. Only a couple of minutes into the second half. Lee Jin-hyun and Jiang Chenlong away. Half calmly, carefully away. Teixeira. Anafa plays it forward. Swept away again by Kim Young-won. Joe Teixeira. Drift inside a challenge. Referee let it go on. A little physical there. And likewise again, two players down. Home supporters baying. Referee stands firm. Bomb. Ludvigs. And again for the Swede. A good old battle with Manafa down that flank. Ball back to the goalkeeper. It's just a little short, but he clears it, and Asue's a good target man. Hoped for a free kick as he tried to ride the defender's pressure, felt him breathing down his neck. Still ambitious from Chan. Bounces into the penalty area. Manafa had to come across. And it's a corner for Ulsan HD. Lee Jin-hyun touched the ball more than anybody in the first half. He's across to take this. Into the near post. Manafa defending again. Out for the throw. It's been taken quickly. Now Lasava into the penalty area. Just past the challenge or two. Just about gets it away in time, and then Liu Chang-yu did really well. Teixeira. for Manafo. Floated it too much though, almost invited Bartmantel to come herring out and clear. Battle in the midfield there, slip over the top, might have been an offside in there, but we go on. Ludvigsen. It's Eric with the opportunity. It wasn't really an opportunity, he just decided to pull the trigger himself, and there's super power in it. Frustration perhaps from the Brazilian. Sometimes it is okay to be a little direct. Threaded down the line, didn't quite come off Liu Chengyu. Already a full international, trusted in this just about strongest lineup that Shanghai Shenhua can put out. Threaded down the line again for Gustav Ludvigsen. I think he'd gone early, offside, I think, against Ludvigsen. Yep. Confirmed, the high raised flag indicating it's on the far side from the assistant referee. Lasava flashes from him of what he's got. He was a youth team player, Matthias Lasava, at Barcelona. He's been at some very big clubs when he was a very young man. Still sort of finding his way in senior football. Lovely technical skill by Gao Tianyi. Received the ball so well. Manafa puts it into the penalty area. Goalkeeper just juggled it a little bit. It's a free kick, actually. There was a little bit of contact there on Jo Hyun-woo. Supporters don't want to show him any sympathy. Hugely experienced player, one of the heroes of the famous win against Germany in the 2018 World Cup. Was Kim Young-gwon, the skipper tonight, scorer back then in 2018 in Moscow. Ludvigsen clipped into the penalty area, a little bit of confusion. I think the goalkeeper was almost ready to come. It's going to be a corner. Better safe than sorry. Ludvigsson has taken it quickly, changed the angle. Delivery was worse for it. Sue. Ball is trying to get his message through. I think might have made a point, Luis Sue. I think he had a cut first of the game, actually. I think the point from Luis Sue was that he wanted to take it straight away. So Myung-hwan has been booked. He went right back in. In fact, he couldn't have made it any clearer, could he? Because I thought he might have got one for jumping back in the way of the ball initially, but then he literally kicked it away from where it was. So the referee had no choice of being lenient anymore. Ludvigsson was asking why that wasn't interpreted as a back pass. The referee just getting a little bit annoyed that the frustration levels are rising, or perhaps more concerned than annoyed. Yusuke Araki, the Japanese referee. Shanghai Shenhua leading with an hour play. Wilson Manafa had a really good game. Goes on the outside, wants to get himself into the penalty area, he sends here. Gao gives it back to Manafa, and then the touch was a little heavy. I said earlier, he's a good technical player, but that was imperfect there from Gao Jianyi. There's never, all the years I've seen Leonid Slutsky, he's never looked happy during a football match. Feels the tension, as many coaches do. They have won 2 games out of 19 in all competitions. Cup and League and World Club Cup, this competition. Now it's into the penalty area. It's the right back who's forward, and they keep moving it on. Certainly got bodies forward there. It's the right back, Choi, and then the overlap was from central defender. There's Ko, and it's into the penalty area. Super finish. It's Gustav Ludvigsson, and Ulsan HD are back on level terms. Again, it's a ruthless finish. And again, an opportunity to clear wasn't taken. It goes back in. It goes back in with quality. And the Swedish winger, a slap bang in the middle when it mattered. Everyone had just dropped a little deeper, so he found himself in that little bit of space. And how well he volleyed it home. A small band of Korean supporters who made that 900-kilometre journey have plenty to sing about now. Shanghai Shenhua led for 16 minutes in this second half. Similarities in the goal, in that the situations initially cleared and it goes back in. Oh, here's Sue straight down the other end, goalkeeper's favourite, and claims it. Of course, the difference was there was a bit of luck in the ball going to Sue for his goal, whereas Ko Seong-bom put quality on his delivery. Ludvigsson had just pulled himself into a little bit of space. Quick decisions must be made. Here's Eric and he's offside. Changes coming. Shenhua. Changes all over the place. Lasava's off as well. So both teams are making changes. Lasava is withdrawn there. Eric off as well. Teams get back at it. Ulsan HD on the front foot. On the attack. Zhang Hao Yu is on, as well as Xu Hao Yang for Shanghai Shenhua. They're going to defend a corner. Li Jin-hyun will swing in. First contact from a defender. And the shot was from... a terrific effort, and it thuds off the top of the crossbar from Ko Seong-bong. So unlucky, he was lurking outside of the penalty area and he comes in here. First attempt is blocked, second one is a volley. What a shot! Look, a good team. Baffling why they can't win a game. It would be... oh, this will go be one earlier, so there is a team on two wins from two in this eastern section. Man down, but the game goes on. It's swung into the penalty area again. Away by Jian Chenlong. That goes into the box. It's an attempted overhead. They should let this run out of play. There's more contact made in the middle there. So a couple of players down now. One of them is the captain, Wu Chi. Yul is on, who scored the late winner, the previous game for Ulsan HD. There's a heavy touch. Ludvigsson, score of the equaliser. No offside here. Well, there was an offside. It just took a little time for the message to get through.
Teixeira to Manafa. Home supporters desperately urging them forward here. Wilson Manafa. Can he get across it? Been well marshalled. Back it goes to João Teixeira. Super defending again. Excellent recovery. Shinichi Chan, who goes back to the goalkeeper. Sue can't find a teammate with his layoff. Last season, Ulsan HD only won one game. That was against Shanghai Shenhua. Didn't score in their first 5. They were one of the 4 teams of the 12 that didn't go through. Format's the same this time. This elite stage. Different setup for the Champions League 2. Almost managed to nick it back high up the pitch. Substitute Ulsan. Ball was still in play. Yul. Manafa forward. Lee Jin-hyun. Who will have the quality to come through. It's fired into that Ulsan penalty area again. Did well and trying to smuggle it forward again, but they can't. More changes being prepared. It looks like Marian Bojanic, the Swede, will be coming on soon for Ulsan. Yul turns well in the penalty area. It is really well. Good defending though. And again he turns and again he's denied. This time it's Manafa who got a toe to the ball in the nick of time. Sue's done well this time. He's got up, he's got it down. It's found Teixeira who tries to return the ball to him. Good touch, through on goal, super save. Sue might have thought he was the match winner again. Brilliant link up by Teixeira from the centre forward. They've come in flashes, Shanghai Shenhua, in this game. They haven't dominated it. Interesting change. Left back Park Min-soo is going off. Midfield schema.
again of this. Super football here. Dropped a bit deep. Goalkeeper, you could argue, could have been a bit out. But they're splitting hairs because it's really good football. What's wrong with the finish from as to where he got it up? Decided to go to try and lift it, but the goalkeeper was just really decisive, really strong. Ulsan turn it over, win possession back again. That's strong though by Marucci. Who's going through his notebook quickly. The level of physicality has risen a little bit there. Choi Hyun. Good crowd inside the Shanghai Stadium. It's been a good game. Manafa. Long to Shearer. Lovely ball to lift it over the top for Chan, who whips it into the penalty area quickly. And the skipper got there. Uchi, though, couldn't control his header. He had a lot to do with it, to be fair, didn't he? He would have been an extraordinary goal if he'd managed to guide that from that position under some pressure. Super skills by the Portuguese, but do the next bit, consolidate the move. Ulsan HD on the front foot again. Layoff around the corner. Bojanic didn't fancy the long range shots. Slip back into the middle, and it's a super attempt at the overhead kick. Sang, who had the skill to deliver it into the penalty area. Once again, it was Ko Seong-bom who showcased his ability and hit the bar with that brilliant effort a short while ago. Shearer, a blistering pace. Good know-how though, he ticks. Gets himself away. Now he's back into the penalty area. Centre backs were dominant. That was forward. Last touch came off the left back. into the air, Leonid Slutsky. No translation required, you just go off the body language. Shukun. Touched around the corner again for Ulsan. Ludvigsen, score of the equalising goal. Corner, well played by Hyun. Another change. Getting multiple changes. Tick. One of the players coming on. Off. Hyun also on. Excitement now as Shanghai Shenhua break forward. And then it dissipates. It comes to nothing again. I don't think you'd be able to make a really strong case that they deserve anything more than they've got in this game, but one of those situations where if you grab it now, you deserve it. Substitutions on the way. Yuhan Chao is back to join us. There's Yang Zhexiang. Ulsan on the attack again, and into the penalty area it goes. And up goes Hyun. Delivery, and there's a big man in there, no one jumping with him. Corner to be taken by Bojanic. Balloons. That one is coming together at the back post, and again I think the official will just say it was just sort of an accidental bit of contact. We've seen the changes now before the throw for Ulsan HD. See that Asui's number is up. So Asui gets a good send-off there. Got his goal very early in the second period, took it well. Okay, they're missing a couple of players up front. Their absence, okay there. throw now into the penalty area again. Here, Yul is the target. Bojanic battles and wins a throw. Well collected again by Choi Suk-gun. Once again, Ulsan HD have dominated possession in a football match. They've drawn far too many of those games, though. What about this one? Uchi fires it long, an opportunity for Yun. And Chow, and now it goes into the penalty area. And a chance for the long-range shot, and Teixeira takes it on. And it was unconvincing. Good burst by one of the subs there. Himself in the wrong position. Teixeira's rolling right at him, and he just can't get the angle, the body angle right for the strike. HD go long, it's going to be dealt with. Sometimes you're turning a team round, puts them under a little bit of pressure, and Jian Shenlong had to clear. Flags are up again. They led for 16 minutes. Conclusion. San HD are not able to do enough is keep the back door shut. So many of the goals they've conceded in recent weeks have been self-inflicted, or at least opportunities served up too easily. The corner. Really have dominated this second half. Not as noisy as the home supporters, but can't question their loyalty, dedication to the cause, and they've seen a good performance. And as I say, that corner routine breaks down. Is he happy with the point, Shin Tae-yong? 4 points from 2 games, more than they got in the whole of the last campaign. To steal too much ground.
looks magnificent looking. I sometimes wonder what you can see if you're behind one of those enormous flags. Could be a winner. We're in the last minute of the 90. Tell you which way it would go, but here's a mistake and here's an opportunity. Zhao Teixeira into the penalty area, and he keeps on going. He's been run out of it. Eventually, yeah, really good defending. Doesn't have explosive physicality, Teixeira. Started his professional footballing career in England. Now they break forward again, the home side. A good turnover. It's a frustrating end, isn't it? They had bodies forward. Unhappy here, Shin Tae-yong and his coaching staff as we come to the 90 minutes. Just couldn't get the ball with it. Nothing for the VAR to make a decision about. At the end of this game, an enthralling, closely fought match. A couple of teams that are getting to know each other well. Ulsan got the win last year. Will they get the win today? Who was kept in reserve, has been influential since coming onto the pitch. Bojanic with the corner, screened at the near post. Back in it goes from Lee Jin-hyun. Free kick, good opportunity here, good position for Ulsan. Referee, might be good advice, he's telling him to take it again. That's for his purposes, that he wasn't ready, but I don't think the ball has been that good. Well, there might be time for two chances, but let's assume not. Let's assume this is it. Big moment coming up now. Marian Bojanic. The 93rd minute. Bojanic floats it high towards the back post. Two up. Who touched it? Last touch off the attacker. Uchi doing his job. As we come to the end of this, I'm not quite sure who should be happy. I mean, I'm guessing Shin Tae-yong, because they won the first game and they're away from home. Slutsky has got 6 more games of this competition to come, but they've got a Chinese title to try and win. Their third. They've got 4 games to go. It's really close. They have gone close, coming down to hit the bar. They had the great effort at the end of the first half. Shanghai Shenhua have been a threat on the break, and they remain so. Here they come. One last foray into the penalty area. Comes off the defender and goes behind. Well, that could have been a catastrophic conclusion to the game. Jun Seung-hung, I think, was the Ulsan defender who is more or less in the right position. You have to go into that near post area. Realised it was coming to him. Flexed his knees. Hope for the best. Chu Ha-yang whips it into the near post and it bounces around again. Nervy moments at the end for the visitors. And that's for
still got a bit of work to do, but it's everything that he's done. It's excellent. A flick on to be offside if he chases, yes. Well, I think that is time. And it is all over. So the points are shared on match day 2 at the Shanghai Stadium. Shanghai Shenhua 1, Ulsan HD 1. Really competitive, tough, well orchestrated teams. Ulsan dominated possession, but they fell behind early in the second half. Luis Sasue with a neat finish made it 1, but they deserved something, the visitors, and Gustav Ludvigsen with a fine finish put them back on level terms. It was a terrific effort by Ko Seongbom that smacked off the crossbar, and in the end a lot of tired faces, but no one is ecstatic. Hard fought, fairly played, and the points are shared, and we roll on. Plenty more football to be played in this elite Champions League competition. Full time at the Shanghai Stadium. Shanghai Shenhua 1, Ulsan HD 1.